I'm Turk Strongman at Thurianki Ramacharaka. Thank you for selecting this video on such matters as, let's say, the mood of calm confidence, calm attention direction, the things that seem to be just basics of being awake and active, but they are much more than that. Their importance, if highly developed and working together, will make a new way of being. And there is a demand for that. These things are necessary if humanity is to move forward constructively, evolve. It has to happen. All right. But before I continue, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, then do it right now. That way you can also activate the notification bell feature and be apprised of my new uploads. Additionally, you may share the joy of this channel with others right now, simply by clicking on the thumbs up icon immediately below this video player window. Okay, now we have various things here that I want to just tie together quickly. First of all, I'm using sepia color now. Why? Some of you may remember when I had my original Thurianki Ramacharaka channel and lived in a different place, which then had burned it down, and then I came here, but I switched. Back then, I started out the very beginnings of the whole Thurianki Ramacharaka channel chain. It was all done in sepia, and I was younger. You know, that was 12 years ago, and I went away from sepia pretty early. You know, I went into color. Then more recently, I've gone into black and white. But I want you to know that it's still just me, right? It's still me, the same one, just with, you know, a duration between, more experience in there, whatever. All those things that happen in 12 years. Which is still me, right? And I want to talk about, so here we are in sepia. I know, this makes a big difference. And this is really interesting. I did not know that would happen. I never grew my facial hair like this before in my life, not this much. And then this shows up. What the heck is that? My wife really likes that. It's like a Santa Claus, a mustache beard. A 19th century British mustache as a beard, as a goatee. It fell down. That's kind of funny. All right, let's move forward. Things like, let's say I say something. All right, I'll say something about the mood of calm confidence. Not just a mood of calm confidence. I'm talking about a specific one. The mood of calm confidence. It's the name of it. It's a method. It's a technique. It's a technique for having the experience of calm confidence. Experiencing calm confidence. And then from that, that joins in with directed attention. A degree of which is required to develop the mood of calm confidence, but so then these two things work together. All right? And the result is a calm attention technique. Well, now, strongly directed attention, good focus, distractions out, focus, right? Calm. Confident. Attention. Directed attention. Now that, consider that. Oh, that might just sound like what you already do, but just a little more. Like I'm making it into a bigger thing here, so yeah, you'll give me that, right? It'll be what you do, plus some more. But, you know, you could do that. You could do that some more if required, you know, like on demand or at will. I'm not talking about that some more. I'm talking about what can be done and what will be required. I mean, I'm getting lost here. The importance, the need, the necessity of a much further developed, just in this case here, in our example, calm attention technique, calm, confident attention technique. Not only, the main point of it, of bringing it up, is it is in demand of us. All right? It has to happen for our constructive survival and further evolvement in all ways. Okay? The importance of that. Now, I want to talk about that because people seem to just blow off these things that I repeat about, like referring you to, you know, like if you're familiar, I might say if you're familiar with my calm attention technique, my mood of, you know, for the development of the mood of calm confidence. But then you just haven't heard of that before, or you've heard me say that before, but you don't know what it really is because you haven't gone to those videos or my descriptions and explanations of what they are and how to do them, how they work, what to do. You know? So you just kind of like blow it off. You know, like it's probably something cool, but yeah, why get distracted with that? You know, I'm looking at this video. I'm going to look at one I want. Now, then you never get to that other thing, so you don't know the extent to which this is required of each one of us to develop to our highest extent, you know, and it will self-perpetuate once you get it going. Why this is so important, things like this, but I don't understand what more I can say here, folks, about the importance of these things. I lay them out quite clearly. I provide practical instruction with them quite clearly. But I cannot emphasize enough, I guess, with use of the English language and my body language here. I'm just here, like in this video, the importance of these things, the extent to which our development in these directions is required for our constructive survival and progress as a race and as individuals in it. There are certain things that have to happen, you know, like necessary conditions, with the sufficient one being doing, you know, actively engaging, executing those necessary conditions. You know, like doing it, making it real, making it real to the point of making it manifest in your everyday consciousness and experience and life. Now, there are a lot of other ways to go about such things, but they're not as efficient. A lot of ways might conflate or confuse what's necessary and what's not in it for it to come to bear. Kind of hard to figure that out, but I don't think you're going to find a more efficient way, down to earth way, pragmatic way, understandable way, clearly laid out and discussed way than here. Okay? So, what can I say? Consider this. Let's consider some serious spiritual warfare shit. Right? Okay, look. Trump is set, you know, he's poised to refine, the United States as a country, as a nation, as a society, and as a geographic parameter, outline. All right, or geographic. All right. Some like Elon Musk are poised and are engaging in affairs that work collaboratively with the Trump one, okay, in helping humanity push forward in a constructive manner. Physical plane stuff, like in our outer world, in our lives, in our here lives. Okay? That's all the outside. Right? To correctly address that, to adequately, satisfactorily, consequentially, efficient way. What's the inside is the other side, the major side of the real battle. The refinement. There has to be the whole inside of us. There's a lot more there, know it or not, than what's out there. Because in here, it's not just your individual inner world, but just a little bit further in than that. Easily accessible, using the right practice, is that your individual connection to what's the core of us all the way on beyond that, in from that to the principle of life itself. Even further back, traced all the way back, would be, individual blending into conscious substance and emotion, period. It's all of that, okay? And the more we control that, cooperatively and correspondingly with the outer efforts in cleanings up and refinement areas and progress areas, constructive progress as a race, that on the outer world going on, it's time to do the inner. Now, what do you think the necessary requirements are to be able to do that? It would be those things I'm talking about. The very building blocks of that capacity. The opposition is incredible. Dark forces, destructive forces, astral entities, whatever, your Catholic demons, parasites, cosmic parasites, at least solar system parasites, planet parasites, planetary parasites, predators against our energy, against our consciousness. But that all has to change, see? All of that influence has to be cleaned out too. That's part of the refinement. Clarify. You transition, you flux. You transmute. A way of being. And it doesn't include these forces and entities. At least it involves a significant decrease in their influence and presence. Anyway, that's just one level of talking about it. Right? That's at the furthest reach of levels of discourse concerning it. We need to do a refinement at the individual level, which, when done the way it's given to be done here, will involve the same thing for widespread humanity as a whole, as a race, a species, human being. That's not a genus in a species, though, is it? What are we? Homo sapiens? Or whatever constitutes that, and has in the past, notwithstanding, is something that we must do. Or cleaning up on the outside world is going to end up with us being right back in this same position as we are right now, soon enough. The deeper causes of the elements, the presence of the elements that cleaning up clearly targets, have to take care of the inside ones, because those are the influencers. Those are the influencers of influencers. Many level of influence going on. We got to go all the way in, all the way to the core of it. Right? Now, to do that, you see, consider the level of bringing a mood of calm confidence into your calm attention faculty. The extent to which that is going to come in handy, I mean, to have really good control over that, to have that already developed with a history of implementing it, to make it, like if it's part of your way of being. Imagine that that's going to be required to move along the path that I'm talking about. And that's just one thing. Now, when I refer to things here on my channel, like the mood of calm confidence, like you should check that out. I'm not just like saying what might sound right in a sentence, or what might sound like the thing a person who's saying the kinds of things I am should say it. I'm telling the literal, this is all my material here, except for my narrations of other people's works, like William Walker Atkinson. The books, right? Everything else is mine. So when I refer to something like that, ideas like that just sounds good in a sentence, like that's a habit of speech, the way he said that. It kind of goes along with, it's not a big deal that he's referring to with that kind of talk. But I'm not referring to something else. I'm referring to what's right here, mine. All right? So, it's not what you think it's going to be until you check it out and know what it is. And if I'm saying you should do that, right, to aid you in this over here, or I recommend that, or that's the way it should really be done, but you can't put it all in one video. All right? It's more than that. I'm referring to one of those necessities. And whatever level of development that you think you haven't done, well, that corresponds with whatever condition you're really in, and the rest of humanity is in. Whether you consider that to be of any good quality, your capacity, right now. Consider the human condition of which that you're probably pretty well used to being a part of. But take a look at that. Take a look inside yourself. Is this really the best it can be? Right? What do I need to do? I don't know how to do different. Right? So when I'm referring to something like this, I'm talking about one of those requirements, one of those core things required to actually stand up to the task. All right? I don't know what else to say right now. That's what came to mind. But look, it's still me, see, and it's still Sepia. This is really weird. It's kind of cool. I didn't do it on purpose. Not my fault. Did you like this video? Give it a thumb up. Share the joy of the channel with others. Subscribe. Notification bell thing. Thanks for selecting this video on a few connections here. You know, really simple, basic stuff that, if significantly developed, you know, mental capacity, if significantly developed and employed in the right directions, I don't know what to say, man. And the results of that would be a lot different than what they are now. If applied toward the right ends. All right. So don't bypass this stuff, please. Whatever I'm referring to here in the video that's also on this channel is mine. So it's probably not going to be whatever you think it might sound like that you already have some familiarity with. It might not be, and it probably isn't. And the applications that I'm aiming for, that I intend here in teaching you or bringing you this information, right, is for the development of you and humanity. And I don't know, I lost my sentence. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Turk Strawman at the Ron Q. Be well.